What's going on, guys? It is Double Axis podcast number 14. As you can see, we have an ensemble tonight. As we promised, we're going to do the end of the year podcast where we told some funny stories about our group of friends. I know that a lot of people were probably familiar with the characters that are sitting at the table, but I just want to introduce everybody. Of course, I'm Kellen Winburn, the lovely host of this program. We have Michael Fishman, who is a two-time, three-time. This is the third show, but you've been on there twice before.
This is the third show.
So, and I appreciate you being here. David has stepped behind the camera.
Not behind the camera. I'm in front of the camera now.
That's what I meant.
For the people.
From behind.
Finally.
Yeah. For the people.
This is David. This is what he looks like. David Morguson. His lovely fiance is back running the camera tonight. So, Megan, we appreciate you as well. And then, of course,
you deserve a medal.
A first timer here. We got Brett Morguson,
aka Cootie,
which is another story for another day. But we've got David and Brett are cousins, and I met both of them through my brother, and we've become very good friends over a long period of time. So, everybody have a good week. We'll start with you, David. Or, okay. Well, I'm gonna call you David the rest of the night. We'll start with you, Brett. It's your first time on here, so...
All right. Yeah, I've been working all week. Kid went home Friday to her mother.
So you got a free weekend?
Been smooth sailing, yeah.
So what about you, Mike? You sell a bunch of cars?
One.
And it should be mentioned that it is Michael Fishman's 31st birthday tonight, so...
He still has a head full of hair.
Hey, that's always great, though.
Yeah. So happy birthday, Mike. Appreciate you taking your birthday to spend with us. And
No gray hairs. I've been pulling some out this week. And I was like, man, I just hit puberty like 5 years ago.
How old are you now?
Me? I turn 28 next week.
28 next week.
Yeah, so Mike and I are close. It sucks having your birthday after Christmas, though.
It does, but at the same time, man, where my birthday is, I got my birthday, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. From the time I was, 19 when we were living together.
No comment.
Until even now, it's generally a 3-day party.
Yeah, no comment.
But, when you were a little kid, you, tried to have birthday parties, but it, got snowed out.
I never had a birthday party growing up because my birthday was so close to Christmas.
Yeah.
I can remember one.
When I was a little kid, I think my parents had, 3 times, I had, a birthday party, at a skate rink or somewhere cool like that. But it, got snowed out. It happened, 3 times. And it was pretty sad. And then so I never had birthdays. So technically,
and now that you just quietly aged.
Yeah.
Now that you made all the viewers cry,
yeah.
How was your week? Was it a good one?
Yeah, it was a great week. Great week for me.
Did anything interesting happen over the last week of your life?
Megan and I got engaged. And that's pretty much the only cool thing. Christmas was cool.
Yeah.
So congratulations to you two.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
About time.
No comment on that. Yeah, congratulations. So it's been a big week with Christmas and an engagement. So did you do it on Christmas Day?
No, it was after Christmas, wasn't it?
Good choice.
Was it before Christmas? It was before Christmas.
Before Christmas, after the strip club.
Yeah. We hit the strip club up, and afterwards we got engaged.
I thought there was about to be the first engaged fight on camera because you forgot the day.
No, because Christmas week, it's kind of blurry for me because I was started drinking last weekend, and So.
Yeah, we were talking about. I was surprised to hear that Christmas Eve was the second most heaviest drinking night of the year. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Thanksgiving and then Christmas, those two huge drinking holidays.
And I understand why now.
Yeah.
After getting older and having 20 kids every Christmas event, so. But anyways, now that we've shared our pleasantries, like we said, we're gonna share just some stories about, I guess, our childhood, teenage years, maybe even into early adulthood. We've had a lot of crazy things happen as a group of friends. Some of them have been funny, some of them have not. So we'll try to share.
They're all funny looking back.
Yeah. Well, it depends on your perspective on that. So
certain ways they're told make it funny.
Yeah, for sure. Certain ways they're told. So we figured that we would move left to right in an American way. So we'll go ahead and let Mike tell the first story. Mike was on the fence about which story to tell. I don't know if he's made a decision or not, but we'll let you tell the story, and then we'll all kind of input there if we had any experience behind your particular story.
I'll start with the lesser of the two evils.
Oh, God.
So, we always have watched UFC together.
Not always, but since
I've met you, I've
yeah,
watched
for sure.
most of the UFCs,
Yep.
with you. And we were living in Richmond. Got a couple apartments down. Around me one day, all his crap is on the front lawn. Well, he had a nice fan, and I wanted one, and I was poor, so I took the fan. Cleaned it before we brought it in the house.
let me interject here, because I'm pretty sure that was a professor at Eastern Kentucky, and he actually got kicked out for some type of sexual harassment deal.
I have no idea. All I remember is there was stuff on the...
But he took a trip to Europe because...
Anyway.
He took a trip to Europe because I still have the pictures, and I tell people from time to time I went to Europe, and I'm like, oh yes, look at this wonderful architecture, and they're not even my pictures. But proceed.
So
sir.
anyway, cleaning the fan up, bringing it in the house, and it's nice for about a week and a half, because that's when UFC happened. And we had some neighbors.
Dude, you had that fan for so long. It wasn't
No,
just
it was only about a week and a half ago. It really was.
It was. Tell a little bit more about it, because it was a danger to all of us, because somehow the face of it was missing, and so it was just like bare fan. There's like no.
Well, when I took it apart to
so.
clean it, I kind of forgot where I placed it. Right?
So it was you the whole time? I thought that's how the fan came.
No. Dude, I'm not even going to say the next part, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I might have misplaced it when I was going to put it back together and said, you know what, screw it. So it was sitting there next to my quote-unquote bedroom, also known as the dining room.
But this particular instance, it was normally in the dining room, but this particular instance, it was actually in the living room by the stairs.
Because we had so many people there.
Yeah, we had a bunch of people.
Well, our neighbors were generally cool most of the time. But they just happened to be outside blasting music from their laptops. And we came out there and asked them, hey, are you guys okay? Something going on? Turn that shit off. Because it was horrible music.
And they were also running through the yard, giggling and knocking on doors. And
yeah, that too. So, I don't remember who was fighting. And I don't know how well y'all know Kellen or not, but Kellen can get kind of wound a little tight from time to time, especially when UFC's involved. And he lost it because, like I said, I remember who was fighting.
Chuck Liddell, Keith Jardine.
There you go. And Keith Jardine beat Chuck Liddell. So they still don't understand how the fuck that happened. But Kellen kind of lost it.
Mike just dropped the first F-bomb in the history of Double Axis Podcast.
What else is What else?
So we'll have to put a nice.
Gotta give the people what they want.
Anyway, you can have one and still be PG-13. Anyway, next thing I know, Kellen is throwing crap all over the apartment.
That's not
yelling.
True. You're
No, because whatever you had in your lap, you threw across the apartment.
You're sensationalizing the story.
Doesn't matter. Because whatever you had in your
The people want to hear the truth, Mike.
Whatever you had in your lap, you threw across the apartment. Next thing I know, he's getting up, opens the door, walks outside. Comes back inside, looks around, grabs my fan, goes outside, and proceeds to tomahawk it on the ground. Shatters it. I was like, dude, that's my fan. So I didn't really let it go, but we went back inside, we shut the door.
You're missing a very important part of that.
And what was that?
Okay, so let me tell my part of the story.
Because I wasn't done.
So, no, but I want you to tell the rest of it, but there's a important part that leads up to that that you're forgetting. So, I was looking for an excuse to break this fan because every time I walked by it, oscillated, and so, like, you would get, like, clothing hung in there. It would hit your elbows as you walked by. So, I was like, I have to break something. And so, the first thing I saw was Mike's fan. I jerked it out of the wall, and I went, boom! And, like, it just busted everywhere. And our friend Chris looks at us and real quietly goes, that was all Mike had, man. That was one of the funniest ones ever. He goes, man, that was all Mike had. And so...
The sad part is it's kind of true.
And so now I'll tell the rest
So a couple minutes later, all we hear is on the door.
It was a lot more aggressive than that.
Well, it was, but, you know, I don't want to break the table. It was, because it in fact was.
Spoiler.
Gross jerked the door open and goes, what? It was the police. Oh, God.
So, our neighbors actually had the cops called on them because of the noise they were making. Somebody else in the complex called the cops on them. Well, lo and behold, there's a busted fan in front of car door.
Yeah. And the windows open because it was so hot, and I think the air conditioner was out at that point in time, and
Probably
we were blaring.
froze up.
And we were blaring UFC.
Yeah, so they show up at our place thinking it was us. And it took some time to get them, hey, you might want to talk to the neighbors. They did, and of course the neighbors lied. Said, we don't know what they're talking about. They've been loud all night. So lo and behold, we had to turn it down, clean up the fan, and shut the door and windows.
Yeah, he said, well, it's kind of hard to believe your all story that you all weren't doing stuff with all this garbage laying on the front. And I was like, dang, the one time I go out of the way to do something stupid and the cops get called and we get blamed for it. But yeah, so that was definitely my fault. But I did want to break that fan.
That's all I had at the time, man.
I'm pretty sure I bought you a new one. If I didn't, then I've done enough since then.
Oh, you've done enough since then to make up for it. But
I just want that to be on camera, so... now it's on the internet. The internet's forever. So
the internet doesn't
Your
lie.
great grandkids will see this.
So was there any other stories you wanted to tell?
Oh, we'll come back to mine. We'll go on to the next person.
So Dave, do you have any funny stories from our childhood / early adult life that you would like to tell?
Yeah, I'll tell one first. This is one I just thought of. Like,
Oh god, this wasn't a prior approved one.
well, this is like before I really knew you, and I was with Jeff. I think maybe Brett was with us, and we were walking down the road you lived on. But before we were at your house,
Jeff?
Yeah.
Oh,
we'll say Jeff.
Okay.
Jeff's
All
not
right.
Jeff's real name, but we're gonna say Jeff because
Okay,
Jeff's not here.
I'm on board right now.
But we were at your
There's
house.
gonna be another story about Jeff in a minute.
And I was like, why don't we just get Kellen to give us a ride? Because we're going from your house to your grandparents' house, which is a pretty long walk.
2 miles.
Yeah, and he was like, no, he won't give us a ride. And I was like, well, okay. And so we started walking, and then you like passed us, and then like slowed down and like waved at us, and then drove off. Like while we were like almost there.
Wasn't
and
I
like
in
you
the
were
car?
on the
'Cause
way.
I remember this happening.
remember. And I was
I
like,
remember that
why did
happening
we get
before.
him to give us a ride? And he was like, he wouldn't have gave us a ride. And I was like, what? And so it's like on his way. No, he wouldn't have gave us a ride.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Jeff may have been like that from time to time.
Jeff didn't like Star Wars. He was really mad about it. He was airing some grievances.
Did
out
you
to
like
me the
it?
other day.
I loved it.
Have you seen
I
it
just
yet?
watched it yesterday.
Did you like it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you cry?
No.
I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it deserved a flack. I think they had to make it like that to kind
Yeah,
of move
yeah.
on. So I didn't think it was that bad.
And I think that the Ray Parrott's mystery, I think they just punted it. I don't think that's the real answer.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think
a-
it is either.
That's a pretty good way
Yeah.
of looking at it.
I
Punting
think
it.
they killed the wrong character.
Don't be running spoilers on there. Hey,
This ain't a spoiler show.
we're
bro.
already gonna get enough.
Well, there was some really dumb parts, like Leia flying through space.
Yeah, it's like I thought.
Leia Poppins.
Yeah, that was really stupid.
Well,
And the Luke part was cool, but then like he just disintegrates. Like, what the crap?
There we go.
Well, just
Way to
like- that's
spoiler,
just-
bro.
There we go.
Well, if you hadn't seen it by now,
There
then
we
you
go.
you deserve. the
Some people
spoilers.
still wait for DVD, David.
Yeah, this is
God.
Star Wars. You should have went to go see it in its proper way. It's meant to be seen.
So, did you want us to come back to you for your next story, or did you?
Yeah. We'll
Okay.
make the rounds.
We'll just
So-
round robin.
I will tell the mother of, well, almost. There's one story that still hasn't been approved for camera, and maybe one day we'll be able to get that one. But the mother of all stories.
Oh, Jesus, which one is
So, late one night, Baylor was actually there. I'm not going to change his name because I don't care. He's not
Yeah.
going to watch it anyway. So, Baylor was there. He was, like, sleeping on my floor. It was probably 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And during this time, Arby's was running a 5 for $5. And I'm pretty sure that Arby's has since been out of business, and I'm pretty sure that these guys and me are part of the reason that Arby's went out of business,
And some
because
other people.
we literally hit it up all the time. And
3
just-
times a night.
It was ridiculous. So it was open 24 hours because it's a college town, and so at all times of night, you know, we'd be playing Xbox, whatever, doing other extracurricular activities, and we'd be running to Arby's, and and you know, we always did it safe. Just for the record, at this particular time, they had ran out. What did y'all even go to do? I know that Arby's was involved, but
Arby's was involved, so was J-Lo. I was not allowed to drive down because I was drinking, but I legally wasn't allowed to drive. I had a suspended license.
which is the other story you need to tell.
I'll tell it.
Okay.
Fine, I'll tell it. and some really bad drunken directions. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, so they have went out. I seriously think the main reason that they did was because they got tired of playing the Xbox and they wanted to go out for the 5 for 5. So I was in bed. At this point in time in my life, I was I would say a good kid, but I didn't exactly stay up all night. I had a job and was going to 2 jobs and was going to college, so I didn't really get to stay up a whole lot. But I get a call and. This is why I keep my phone on silent now because of calls like this. But I get a call, and it's, Kellen, you have to come. We're in a wreck. The police are going to take us all to jail, and they're going to tow the car unless you get here right now and you're able to follow us home. And I was like, okay, where are you? And he's like, we're on Main Street. I was like, you had a wreck on Main Street.
At 2 in the morning.
Yeah. yes, I did.
2 in the morning.
And so I was like, all right, well, I'll be right there. So I get out of my lovely, nice, comfortable bed. It looks like a kidnapping or a SWAT scene because when I get up to Main Street, they've got the road blocked off, and you can see cops and blue lights everywhere. There's some idiot on the second story of there yelling at everybody.
It was. We forgot about that guy.
I just remember him yelling at one of our friends, "Get out of the road, fat ass!" And he's like, "F you, man, F you!" I was like, "Oh God, what have I showed up for?" So
What did I agree to?
I get out out of the car, and I'm walking up, and they have all of our friends lined up against the wall. Let's say that Jeff was driving, Mike was there, Brett was there, friend Gross was there. Is that everybody?
Means I was in between them, so I was crazy.
Yeah. So I get there, the back end of Mike's Pontiac Bonneville is crushed. And I don't remember exactly how it was positioned at this point in time. They may have even moved it. But I just remember the cops coming up to me, and I'm completely bewildered at this point. And so they're like, are you going to follow them home? And I'm like, yeah. And they asked me who I was, and I told them who I was in relation to everybody. And basically I think I said, I'm these dumbasses caretaker. That's all I get to do is come and clean up the messes. So got everybody together. We had to take 2 different cars. And so I'm following Mike's Bonneville at like 10 miles an hour. It's going whoop, 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 because the back tire was flat.
No, it wasn't flat. The axle was broke.
Okay. But it was. I just remember it going whoop, whoop, whoop.
I think the bumper was hanging off too.
Yeah.
The bumper was hanging off. Tail light was
And
busted.
were all you all still sitting in the back too?
No.
Oh, okay.
Me
Some
and
of them-
Jeff were in my car. The rest of them were in Kellen's.
Yeah. And so we dispersed them all accordingly. So we get back to the house. We all sit down. It's dead quiet. There's a speech that we'll talk about, but before we talk about that, I was like, what happened? And what had happened was Jeff drove up a wrong way street. No, I'm going to tell it first, then you can rebuttal. But he drove up a wrong way street.
You got to put one important factor. There was a big blue dumpster on the hill that you couldn't see around because they were remodeling at the time.
So he drove up the wrong way street. There was a big blue dumpster here. They were trying to turn right to get on the main street.
No, turn left.
We're turning left to go home.
So you'd already been to Arby's?
No, we didn't actually.
Arby's and Main Street are
wasn't
kind of
involved
far
that
away.
night.
No, we swung by to talk to the girls.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah,
'cause-
we went straight to.
Because there's
we went straight
Arby's,
to campus.
that's where you all
Arby's
live. and then
closed.
Here's Main Street.
Arby's
Yeah.
closed early that night.
Yeah, that's right. Because we ended up going.
It was
to
a
deal with
national
J-Lo.
holiday? That's unacceptable.
I don't know. It was.
So anyways.
all this could have been avoided if I just would have stayed open.
It was
Moral
too
of the story. Yeah, it was late, but it stayed
They
open
were
24 hours.
I don't know. They were closed that night.
The lobby used to be
But
24 too.
they had pulled out in front of somebody else, and that's what caused the accident. They got hit on the left rear side, and so I said, "Jeff, how could this have happened?" And he's like, "Well, the problem was Mike was playing the music loud, and he was doing directions to the beat." And so he's like, "Okay, where do I go?" And he said, "Mike would just be like." Which I can totally see. So apparently inebriated beat Mike told him to go the wrong way, and so that's what caused it. So
Well, no, I told him to go this way, but he took it as go that way. So he ends up going the wrong way, and he's yelling at me, "What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?" I said, "Well, just stop, turn around, and go back." Well, got the damn peanut gallery in the back saying, no, we're good. It's 2 in the morning. Just go. So he listens to the peanut gallery.
That's what gets you.
You know, he listens to the peanut gallery. He keeps going. I was like, all right, fine. I guess I'll look this way. You look that way. I'm clear this way. Pulls out and no sooner do I turn my light is, boom. Okay, now to probably the best part of the whole story.
Wait, you gotta tell the other story. When you all got hit, apparently you all spun around, and when you all stopped, he looked at you and goes, should I leave?
He floored it.
He tried to. And he was still facing down. He was facing the street that we were coming up the wrong way, so he would have been literally going down that street.
I've never heard that part of the story. He tried to floor it, went boom, boom.
Classic,
Yeah. True. All right, so we all get out, and they separate everybody. For some reason, they separate me and Jeff and the peanut gallery. So
Because you're the one that was giving the directions.
well, no, they separated us because he was driving. It was my car.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I'm not driving. So, I'm drunk, and I have a suspended license. Why do you think I'm not driving? So I asked Jeff. Hey,
Mike,
Jeff.
with too much information, he could just said I'm drunk, but he's like, I'm drunk and I got suspended license.
Do you have any warrants?
Well, no, we're gonna get to the best
You
part.
want this weapon too?
We're gonna get to the best part of too much info here in a minute.
God.
You remember this one? I know you do.
I remember this one.
So
yeah, you. Oh god.
Jeff's
they
gonna be
have
so
us.
mad.
They have us sequestered from everybody asking questions. Well, then they let Jeff go back to the peanut gallery and they leave me alone. Well, lo and behold, here comes Uber Butch Cop. Comes up and goes, I smell weed.
No, she said marijuana.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, just I smell marijuana. Y'all been smoking marijuana? I was like, smoking a black and mild? She's like, I know the difference.
Did you freak that black and mild?
That I know. I looked and I said, well, ma'am, I used to smoke weed, but I don't anymore.
Then we proceed to be put up against the wall and searched after that.
Right. She's like, well, can we search your vehicle? Ma'am, if you find weed in my car, please let me know because I want to know where it came from. So she proceeds to search my car, doesn't find anything, obviously.
Because they're
Did
good
they-
church-going children.
Did they
Right.
cut the seats or anything? I can't remember.
No, they didn't cut the seats on.
No, they were already cut.
Oh, yeah.
No, they weren't. Trust
Trust
me.
one took a
Hey,
box cutter too.
They were already cut
No,
from a
we
previous
did it after it was right. We put box cutters to it. Just because you had to start it with pliers doesn't mean it's bad. Right, so after everything's said and done, Kellen playing Captain Save-A-Ho shows up. You know, because at that point in time, we all needed saving. They all get in the cars. I get in mine. Jeff gets in mine. We drive back to the apartment. We get inside the house. Kellen quietly shuts the door, very calmly walks to the fridge, puts his hand on top, goes, I'm going to try to be calm. What happened? And that's how I proceeded to lose my mind, saying, oh God, what am I going to do? Because I really didn't know what I was going to do about a vehicle at that point in time.
Didn't matter anyway. You didn't have a license. But after we got the story established, at least half the story or 3/4 of the story, our friend Chris goes, all right, look, guys. And I mean, this was like seriously like a Al Pacino from Any Given Sunday type speech. I mean, it was that compelling. He goes, all right, guys, we made a mistake, but nobody ever has to know about this. He's like, we can just keep it between us. I was like, nobody's hurt. We're all right. I love you guys. And like, it just keep going over and over. I don't know if you can remember anything from the speech. I
remember that part of the speech, but I don't remember all the other stuff because I'm sitting on the floor with my head in my hands.
I think we were all a little shell-shocked.
Yeah.
Because I just got woke up out of bed.
You got woke up out of bed. That's the first major wreck I'd ever been in.
I was 16.
He was sober.
So from your point of view, did you have anything to add in or interject? Because I know it was so funny.
No.
You all talk about being searched. You like shoved you against the wall and searched you.
Yeah. It's like, you remember was it Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
And they get searched.
Classic movie.
Yeah. You know how the
Classic
woman's searching, like, I
Cruise.
found a weapon. She's like groping, like, whoa. You know?
You didn't find a weapon in your pants, but
You know,
Brent was
No,
thinking
but,
about that Days of Thunder movie that happens. Like, yeah, this is gonna happen.
This is going to be good.
Yeah.
No, but at the moment we were hit, it's like time stopped.
Yeah.
It was slow motion.
I remember.
And I'm pretty sure the other guy driving was messed up
Weren't
out
you
of his
He was
mind.
coked out of his mind. Had to
Oh,
be.
he
He's
was.
Red all
Weren't you
over
saying
his-
that Mike was still doing this as you argued?
No, we were all looking at each other, just.
Yeah, you said it was like slow
All
motion.
right, so
Everybody
who
goes.
else seen the movie Out Cold when they act like, you know?
Yes, that is it. That's how I
That's
picture
pretty
it.
much how it was when they spin the charger around to wake the drunk dude up, you know, screaming like they were just in an accident. Well, the only difference is the drunk dude driving was actually sober. We really were in an accident, and we all really were screaming.
Yeah, so.
Out Cold's a classic movie. Good
It is.
reference.
But the moral of the story is that even though we tried very hard to keep this all secret, everybody found out about it.
Yeah, Colton told me like 5 days later. Jeff told me. I said the over and under. I said the over and under before
It
it
wasn't
started.
me.
And you're the one that did
And I said someone else was going to do it. But I said Jeff's real name. We're going to scrub this.
It wasn't me.
Well, hopefully he doesn't watch
There's no
this.
taking it back. There's no
Hopefully
taking it back.
Jeff doesn't watch
He's
this.
definitely going to watch this, and he's definitely going to know who how to do it.
Okay.
It wasn't me. Remember that.
Well,
Oh.
if this wasn't on video, then
But yeah, so basically, it was a good time. So, but
Sure.
it was definitely one of the funniest moments of my life, and I got to laugh about it because I was not involved.
You know the
in
worst
this
part about the whole thing? So we ended up at Eastern to see JLo and her friends. They never actually came out of their dorm room. They're yelling at
At
us
the
from their
window.
window
Yeah.
down.
So it was complete bust. No Arby's. And
No
women.
Arby's, no girls.
no beef
Just-
and cheddars.
Right, just a
No
drunken
drugs.
wreck.
No drugs apparently because she
No
she
potato
searched you all
bites.
pretty thoroughly.
Yeah.
Ooh, remember those potato bites he used to have at Arby's? Brett would make
Yeah.
like 30. Brett and I worked at Arby's, and Brett would like. They had this like.
I miss you working
At
at Arby's.
They had
because
this,
I
like-
couldn't over
back
$30
pay.
for the food.
They had this
paid
like
free.
thing like we had managers in like, well, you can take whatever home, but like Brett abused it, and then they got rid of it afterwards. Brett would like have like 30 pieces of potato bites, like 30 cheese sticks, and like
You
5
should
or
have been
6
around
beef
the
and cheddars
Sonic
every
days
day.
and all the food we brought home from Sonic.
Well, I was like, how do
Popeyes.
you eat that much in one night?
Oh, we brought more home from Sonic than Popeyes.
Oh yeah.
Dude, we would purposely make up 30 extra foot-long hot dogs just to feed Achilles. And Kellen would stop him at about 15, like, bro, you're going to get sick. You can have the rest tomorrow.
He just looked at me like, I could eat another one though. Could give me another one. And he always made it in 3 bites. I would give him a full long hot dog and he'd go, and then he would swallow.
And then he'd look at you, more?
Yeah. One day I was like, we'll see how many you can eat, big guy. So, anyways, like I said, Brett hasn't been on the podcast before. Brett is by far one of the best storytellers of the group. Unfortunately, every time something happened throughout our childhood, we knew that our parents would not get mad at Brett. So every time something bad happened, we're like, Brett did it. I mean, there's a countless number of things, even things.
What do you mean through our childhood? We still do that.
Yeah, that's true. So,
Yeah. Y'all went on vacation and I wasn't even there. You're still blaming it on me.
yeah.
We still do it to this day. Brett did it.
Yeah. So, anyways, I know that you had a couple stories to tell. We'll let you tell one, and then we'll go kick it back to Mike, and maybe do one more piece, and then call it a night.
Okay.
So, what's your lead off story here, sir?
I'm gonna talk about the creek incident. I mean, it's like what? How old was I? 13?
I'm not gonna be able to look at you. This we'll just turn the mic your way, and you just tell
I mean, there's no shame because you ate the cooking too, so we all know.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I think we're like 12. Can't say Jeff's name anymore now, can I?
You used to say
Well,
Jeff.
this does not embarrass me.
Okay.
There was like a half a second.
Me and your brother, Colton, we would go.
So he just,
No, I mean,
not
it's
about-
not
Yeah,
embarrassing.
okay.
It's about
that
me,
sounds
it's not
bad
about
for him.
him.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll think it's funny,
We decided to go hunt snakes in the creek.
which was a common thing.
Yeah,
for
very.
country kids.
Definitely. And
But you're probably doing it full kit. Let's not lie.
no, if you're a full kid, I wouldn't have made it.
I wouldn't dare to tell the story, boys.
No, I wouldn't have made it.
So yeah, they all used to dress up in full
Oh, yeah.
Vietnam
Yeah.
era kit.
We called it play army,
Yeah.
or be more like platoon.
Yeah.
But anyways, we were hunting snakes. We had a pellet gun, a couple K-bars. And,
But you gotta preface the
well, it
story.
was Sunday. It was after church.
Yeah, there you go.
And I had some, homemade tacos. That's what it was.
Well, before we start, those tacos are so good.
I know,
If she's
man.
listening now.
Yeah.
Those tacos
After
are
After
delicious.
she's heard Mike say the F word and everybody
Yeah.
slander all of our family.
Nobody slandered anybody in
But-
your family.
But the part about it,
There's a better part of the Rex story. It's like my favorite part, and I'll talk about it later. About Jeff's dad finding out about it.
oh,
We missed the whole the best
I
part of it.
didn't tell that part intentionally. But anyways, even though my grandmother is a fantastic cook,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
she is infamous for making your stomach hurt after you eat it. So go ahead and take
Funny,
it.
it's never hurt mine.
No, I have an iron stomach. Not mine
Right.
either.
Well, it's only certain things.
For sure.
I mean, but,
Those tacos definitely look so good.
yeah, man, tacos. But anyways, it was taco day. So man, I ate a bunch. It was a lot.
I want a taco.
And
I want some of her cooking.
and
some
anyways,
If Jeff was here, he could call her because he could call her 2 o'clock in the morning and be like, "Hey,
Cookie
can I
time.
get some food?"
He did it first too.
No, I didn't do it.
I did it
I
first.
didn't go full. I didn't go
The
full.
one time you're in front of the camera.
I didn't go full though.
Oh,
so, I
God.
mean-
never go full retard.
Nah, Brent just said the R word. We're getting kicked off
Hey,
YouTube.
It's a movie quote, sir.
We get ice cream.
Okay. Anyways, so yes, back to I don't even remember what we're talking about.
It was taco. We ate tacos for lunch, and we decided to go snake hunting. Well, you know how long that creek is.
Yeah, it's about 2 miles to the end of the creek.
Yeah, well, we got about a mile into it, and it just stomach's just hitting me. I was like, I look at Coldest, man. I gotta go to the bathroom. Are you gonna make it? I look over my shoulder to where the house is. I don't think so. He's like, well, there's a bush over there. He's like, no, I gotta go now. He's like, I said, turn around. So I get up on the hill, so that way it's a slant, so I don't crap on myself. And I just
Also,
let it go.
The slant added a little bit of pressure for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so proceed.
But anyways, I didn't really think this through. I had nothing to wipe my tail with, okay? And I wasn't going to risk it with poison ivy because that would have been the worst thing ever. So I started
Or the
thinking.
funniest
And
thing.
if you remember, Colton always wore 2 shirts.
I do too. Still.
And he's like, yeah, why? I'm just like, man. I was like, dude, let me use your shirt. And I only had one. He's like, what about a sock? And I'm like, I was wearing them old gum boots. And I wasn't going to tear my feet up
Yeah.
with them,
Rip your ankles up, the back of your ankles
So I
up.
was like, to hell with it, and I just took my shirt off and I wiped my ass with it. So I come back, and Paul's like, "Where's your shirt at?" I dropped it in the
But
creek.
let's pause here because didn't you borrow that shirt from him?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, there was no. It wasn't
Not that
one.
time.
Yeah, it wasn't that one. No, it was. I forgot what shirt that was, but it wasn't that one.
I'm almost 90%.
Are you talking about the Captain America shirt?
No, I think you borrowed this shirt from my grandpa.
Nope. No, I had to borrow.
You're a lot funnier
I
if
had
you
to
did.
borrow a shirt
Afterwards.
from Paul because I didn't have a shirt, so he gave me a shirt to wear.
Okay, so you borrowed it after the fact.
Yeah. But I get back. He's like, "Where's your shirt?" I was like, "I dropped it in the creek." Why didn't he pick it up? I was like, it's just an old shirt. I didn't care about it. Well, we can't have you going around without a shirt on, so he gave me a shirt to wear. And then we find out he proceeds to go looking for this shirt for like how long?
I don't know, but he basically Brett wiped his butt with a shirt, and I assume hopefully hit it. I don't know the complete full story.
It was a deep part of the creek.
But
and
my
it
grandpa
He just let it go.
did the Titanic music play?
no.
I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never let go.
But anyways, so yes, my grandpa's the type of guy that he's not gonna let anything go. So he proceeds
No.
to go back and look for the shirt, and let's hope to God he never found it, because if he did,
We've always wondered.
yeah, I think we should just keep it that way.
He found his
Knowing Paul, he probably would have said something.
I don't know. I
Well,
think
by then it probably would have been on the shirt anyway.
I think it might be his deathbed confessional.
Oh,
Brett,
jeez.
Brett, come here, come close. I found your shit shirt.
Oh, I can hear him saying that in my head. I can hear him saying it. It makes it so much better.
Okay, so we'll punt from Brett. Everybody can do maybe one more story. So you go
Oh,
ahead.
jeez. Okay, so we're gonna go to the story to Actually, my license was already suspended during this story, but it was unknown to me.
Oh my god.
So there's at
funny.
the time we were all working at Popeyes.
Yeah. Which is
Brett
probably
and I
why.
work at Arby's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're not
And-
in this one.
Yeah.
and
so-
something had happened
Don't make it
to
about
Popeyes where we were having a meeting, and as usual, I'm running slightly late.
I think it might have been when we got robbed.
It was. I was trying not to say it. Wow. Okay.
It's
fine.
gone.
We got robbed and somebody stole a safe.
No, somebody cut the safe open.
Oh,
But
I thought
anyways.
they took it. Anyway, so we're having a meeting. Everybody's already there. I'm running late. Means is with me. Yet was he working there at the time, or had he already
No.
quit?
No, he wasn't working there.
Okay, so he already quit. So Means is with me, and coming up the hill there from Boothboro Road.
The bridge.
You know, we just passed over the river, coming up the hill in my old Bonneville. Well, that old Bonneville, we nicknamed it the tank for a.
Like
No, the
4
tank was
four.
something else. The tank was a different car. But
No, it wasn't the tank. It
Yeah.
was for sure the Bonneville.
It was the Bonneville.
It was pre-wreck.
pre-wreck Bonneville, but it was still a POS. So we're coming up the hill, so I have to actually gun it to make it up the hill. Well, I let off of it. Well, again, it was such a POS. It took it a couple of minutes for the transmission to kick down, to slow itself down, and we passed the cop, and I'm going, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Means put your seatbelt on. He's like, why? I was like, we're getting pulled over. Pull over. Cop comes up, asks why we're speeding. I think the speeding limit was what, 55?
55 for sure. And that's not the first time we've been pulled over on that street.
We're not telling that story.
No, not that one. Not yet.
No. So I think I might have been doing maybe 65. Legitimately.
I thought the official story was 75, 80.
This is mean. That's his version.
No.
You know he embellishes.
Yeah.
So I'm doing maybe 65, maybe 70. And I'm maybe an eighth to a quarter mile past the hill. Cop comes up, asks, son, you know I pulled you over? Because I was speeding. Why? Well, it's an old car. I had to gun it to get it up the hill. Look back, goes, huh. That's my license, registration, proof of insurance, takes it, goes back, runs everything. Unbeknownst to me, my license is suspended. He's like, Mr. Fishman, please step out of the car. So I do.
He knows the routine. He steps over the car.
Make sure they know where your
They
hands are
don't
at.
know that I know the routine. Thanks, Dick. So I get out.
There's a reason the seats were cut, Mike.
It was well before seat cut. So we go in back of the car. He's like, yeah, your license is suspended. No. Do what? Yeah, your license is suspended. Okay, so what do we do from here? He's like, well, unfortunately, I have to arrest you. Shit. Okay. I was like, I can't get mad at you. You're doing your job.
Not fast enough to run.
Yeah. I was like, all right, fine. Well, he's like, now what about your car? I was like, can he leave in it? He's like, does he have a license? I hope so. Because I honestly wasn't sure. I really wasn't. And to this day, I still don't know if he actually ran Means his license or not. I think he did, but I'm not sure. So I get hauled off, and I'm getting out in front of the jail. And as I'm getting out, there was actually, because there was a kid who graduated a couple years behind us, who actually looked up to me, walking by the jail as I'm getting out the handcuffs. I'm like, oh.
It's me. I'm like, Michael.
I'm like, at least give a head nod, like.
No, I tried to hide my face so he didn't recognize me. I don't think
Yeah,
it worked,
that'll
though.
work.
Yeah, you know,
6'6", 300 pounds with a meathead. That'll work.
right, biggest guy in the school. He's not going to recognize me. So they booked me in, and they're doing the normal booking stuff. And literally, as they're getting ready to take my mugshot, the phone rings. So they stop taking my mugshot, answer the phone, talk to whoever's on the phone for a minute, and goes, apparently they're asking for you. Do you want this to be your phone call? Who is it? Because I'm nervous at this point in time. I think they said his name was Kelly, or I was like, Kelly, yes, please. That is my phone. Yes, please, thank you.
Once again, Kellen coming in.
Kelly playing Captain Save-A-Ho. He's like, dude, what's going on? I was like, I'm going to jail. They're booking me.
Again.
They're getting ready to take my mug shot. My mom's out of town. Call my stepdad. Let him know what's going on. because there was some other stuff going on at the time that I'm not going to go into. I was like, let him know, hey, Mike just got arrested. He's in Clark County Jail. So he does, like a good friend. He's like, anything else you need me to do? I don't know. Here, talk to this lady. They're pushing me back against the wall again. So I hand him back the phone. Apparently, you asked us, I don't know how much my bond was because you're getting ready to come pay it right there so I can get out.
It's not entirely true. I don't know if it was or not.
Well, I heard her say, sir, we don't know how much his bond is at this point in time. So this is what I'm guessing.
No, I mean, I definitely wanted to relay that information at least.
Oh, there you go. So they tell him, sir, we don't know what this bond is going to be at this time. You can try back in a couple hours. Maybe we'll know. So I end up going into jail. And
they're like, hey, Mike, you're back again. What's up?
Mike's gonna get really mad.
I wasn't arrested in Clark County before this.
The cane music's about to play.
So, we had that. They put me in the cell, and there's literally 6 beds. All right, they're bunk beds. 20 dudes in this cell. Talk about overcrowding. Maybe there's an issue there.
And the second Mike walks in, he does a tough face, and they all got up off the bed.
Not true. Not true. So, because they'd give me a mat outside because obviously all the beds are taken. So I had my
we don't know
mat.
how many it's going to take.
I lay it on the ground. I lay on the ground, start watching TV with everybody else. They bring in dinner. I eat dinner, which was a high school cheeseburger, some uncooked French fries, and something else. I don't remember. I mean, it's high school food.
You say you need some mustard for that.
Right.
Need a
Well,
lot
at
of
the
mustard.
time, you could smoke in Clark County jails, and I am a smoker. So one of the guys in the cell with me goes, "Hey kid, do you smoke? Yeah. Do you want one? Please." So he rolled me up a cigarette, and I got to smoke while I was in there. Well, then a little bit later, they called me out to take me into the booking, or I forget what room they took me into. But, it's pretty much what they'd say, oh, this is what your bond is going to be, this, that, and the other. So I was like, cool, I'm in jail. What the hell do you want? Why are you telling me this? Who am I supposed to tell? You don't have a phone in the cell, so I can't call nobody. Thanks. So they bring me back to the cell. Maybe 30 minutes later, they're calling me back out. Take me back down the stairs, hand me my stuff, because they let me wear my clothes. And my belt for some reason. They didn't take that away.
They're kind of hoping that you take the easy way out, Mike.
I don't know, man. But you think they would take a belt away, things that I can use as well, but they didn't. Whatever. And then they walk me through a door. First person I see is my stepdad. You want to put me back in there? He's gonna kill me. And then I see Kellen come around the corner. Oh, okay, cool. He's not gonna kill me in front of Kellen because there's witnesses. Witnesses. I'm good. He looks at me and goes, "You're a fucking idiot." I was like, "Dude, I didn't know my license was suspended." He was like, "Whatever. Go, leave." And he went home because my mom was out of town. So me and Kellen get in the car. Kellen looked at me, proceeds to tell me the story that Means had told everybody. And after I'm done laughing, I was like, "Dude, that's completely wrong," because it was funny as shit. I was like, "It's not completely wrong, but there are parts that are way over exaggerated." He's like, "Well, anyway, here's half a pizza for you if you're hungry." So I scarf half the pizza down. We get home in the front.
I had known that you had a high school cheeseburger. I wouldn't give it to you. So, just so you know.
I know. But anyway, I didn't tell you for a reason. We get home, I was like, I don't know why. I was only in jail for like 3 hours, but I just want to lay in my bed. I don't know.
And cry.
Right. So, me and Kellen get at the same time. We don't shut the doors unanimously because honestly, who shuts the doors at the same time? And Chris is sitting on the computer, and all of a sudden he pokes his head around the door. "Mike, you're home!" Runs outside, gives me a big hug, I think. I don't really remember. And all out of nowhere, I hear, "Mikey's home!" Thud, thud, thud. 3 steps later, here comes Grossman around the corner running and jumps into my arms like, "Dude, I've been gone for 3 hours."
We were pretty sure that they were going to give you the chair after Means' version.
So it felt good to know that, my friends who I consider my family cared that much that I was home.
Hey, you may be an idiot, but you're our idiot.
You damn right.
But anyways, yeah. So
let's hear the other side.
we're all waiting. We're all waiting at Popeyes for Mike to be there, and so Means pulls up and parks the car and gets out and literally does the old James Dean and puts his hand on top of the car and goes, "Well," and we're like, "What's going on? Where's where's Mike? Like, you got him in the trunk there? He goes, oh, outlaw Mike. Went on a high-speed pursuit up the hill, going about 75, 80 miles an hour.
I'm changing my next story.
He gets jerked out of the car because he didn't have a license, and they put him in handcuffs and take him away. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, man, it was bad. It was bad, bro. But the way, I'll never forget the way he got out of the car. He goes, and he shuts the door, and he puts his hand on top of the car and goes, well, and I was like, oh, God, here we go. So, yeah, I called, and honestly don't remember much about it other than, you know, asking if there was information about Michael Fishman, the dude that just got arrested, and I didn't ask to talk to him or anything. They just handed me the phone. But actually, the part that you left out was when you got in the car at the jail, I gave you a little bit of a speech first. And I was still pissed off. It wasn't like, oh, hey, Mike.
I purposely don't remember the speech because I was already embarrassed enough as it was.
I was like, what were you thinking? How did you not know you had a license? Why were you speeding? Blah, blah, blah. Why did you run from the
Daddy
cops?
Kellen.
Because the story we got was, yes, Mike was speeding up the hill, and yes, the cop saw him and turned his lights on, but Mike didn't stop immediately. There was a little bit of a time where he just kept on driving for a little bit. So that's kind of the story we got. The little outlaw Mike went on a little high-speed pursuit, but was in a Bonneville and thought better of it. So I was like, what were you thinking, blah, blah, blah. And I remember being pissed off, and yet still didn't want to be too much of a jerk. And I was like, you want some pizza? And I was like, you want some pizza? And just hand him the box. But yeah, so that was good times. So, Dave, you got another classic?
I've got a couple, but like, I don't know. Because you guys are talking about high-speed pursuits. I want to talk about the story about...
Give him one.
Do you remember, it was Cooper's birthday, Parker.
Oh, no.
Parker was like, he was like, let's go to the strip club. And I rode in a car with like, it was like me and Drew. And I don't remember who else was with me, but then you rode with Tony and Parker.
Yeah.
And I think Cooper was with us. But the cops had got, this guy Tony had this little green, was like a Honda Civic.
Something
and it had like
that.
this plastic, this is like plastic, like the mod stuff that people put on their cars. Like, look at
the body kits.
Tokyo Drift. Yeah, body kit. They're like Tokyo Drift shit. And this is like 1992. Yeah, and it was loud as crap. You couldn't hear like, because someone tried to call me on the phone in the car and you couldn't hear them talk.
No.
And I was like, well, just hung up on them. But they were going like by Shear School in Winchester.
Going up Jackson Street.
And the cops got behind him and tried to pull him over. And he's like, watch this. And Brett was in the back seat.
I was like, no.
I wasn't in this car, but this is the story.
I don't believe you.
You see what happened was?
And Brett and Parker apparently like in the car like freaking out like, stop. But
So how long did this continue for?
Oh, it was like... All right, you know where Jackson Street is.
Yeah.
All right. Almost to the end. Well, actually, no, he went around the corner and then parked on the next street over. So it wasn't Jackson Street he stopped on.
So
And you didn't get away, did you?
Huh?
You didn't get away, did you?
Oh, he finally pulled over, and the cops pulled in behind, and then let us go.
we watched you all like, but in like Drew's Malibu for like a half a second. We were like laughing, and then we drove off, and we we're like, well, what if they
I
get
got another one for you.
And then again, I was in the back seat.
We'll do part 2. We gotta keep it.
Well, and then I'll go on to my next story. I just kind of wanted to play off the high speed
I forgot about that one.
pursuit because it made me think about Brett because Brett said he was like really scared,
Yes.
which I would be too.
'Cause he had my life in his hands, you know what I mean? I was like, what are you doing?
Brett's like, pineapples.
Well, I was in a car with Kellen's grandfather and Colton. Kellen wasn't there, but it was like me and Colton.
Ugh.
And they had this neighbor. His name was DJ. His name still is DJ. It wasn't like he's like, I'm not gonna go by
What happened to
DJ
him?
anymore.
We changed it.
What happened to him?
He got married.
He goes by Donald Jr. now.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
He goes by-
It's not DJ anymore. He's graduated from that. No.
Were you there the time that DJ came up to Florence? And we were like, he's like, man, I need to meet some girls. And he was probably way too young, but I was like, hey, you know, I hear that this is really popular right now. And he had this longer hair.
Yeah, we
I
slicked
was
it
like,
back.
Slick your hair back, man. All the girls love it. And so we walk back, and he's like, looks like American Psycho, and he's like walking like this.
That must have been after.
And
I
all
walked
these
out.
girls
No,
are
you
like,
were still there.
No, you were there.
Because this
You
is-
wore the Michael Jackson.
Yeah, we voted on the Michael Jackson shirt. He's like, I'll vote. Who should Mike wear the Michael Jackson shirt?
Mike
And
comes
everybody
out wearing
voted
a
no.
R.I.P. Michael Jackson with like a giant.
Hey, I got that
I was
shirt
like,
for free. When
I was
we
like,
went to
everybody
Ellisboro.
raise your hands that doesn't want Mike to wear the Michael Jackson shirt, and everybody's hands goes up. He's like, man, screw y'all, I'm wearing this anyway.
And Kellen, before you were like, you're meeting Anna's family or something at the Cheesecake Factory, and you're like, you guys don't embarrass me. Don't wear hats to dinner. Don't do this. Don't do that. And then Mike comes out and the Michael Jackson.
No, I did not go to dinner with y'all.
I don't think so. But
There's
you
a
went to the
reason
mall
why
with
Michael
us.
Jackson.
You went to the mall with us, though, and I'm pretty sure you did. I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah, he definitely went to the mall because we would like let DJ walk out front, and like there'd be girls like snickering. And,
That was the same day we went to Cold Stone, and DJ started ordering all this ice cream, and then he looked at Anna and said he didn't have any money. And she's like, "How are you? How are you gonna order
See,
some
I'm not the
out of
worst
You
one.
did it on the sly. All right, so what was the? Sorry, I interrupted you. The story
Okay,
about
so
my
like
grandpa.
I was in the car, I was in the back seat, and we'd start playing paintball a lot at this point, and I had this paintball gun. It was like jammed, and I was just like sitting there trying to mess with it, and his grandfather had this brown car. What it was like a
old,
Chevrolet or
Chevy,
something. Like it wasn't
oh
a
gosh,
Caprice.
Cavalier.
It was a
That's what they
Cavalier,
call it.
but it was like early
Russ
'80s.
Brown.
Yeah. It was a pretty cool car. It was
like
really
an
old.
87, 88.
And we were riding around in it, and I was sitting there like just hitting the gun. And all of a sudden, it just actually went off. There was nothing in the gun, but it was loud. Like if you ever shot a paintball gun like without anything in it, it's really loud. And we're in a car, so like all the windows are up and everything. And he was like, "Whoa!" and he like looked back at it, and I was like.
We're taking fire, boys. Charlie's after
You have a flashback?
So yeah, so I'll tell a short story and then I'll kind of go into my other story. But my short story with that is after Mike had his car totaled and he got his money for it, they took forever picking it up. And so one day, one of our friends came over and had a new paintball gun, and we're talking about like I don't know if you remember.
No, that was when I borrowed from somebody that they never wanted back.
Anyways,
All right.
Thanks, Mike. That was important to the story. There was a paintball gun, and I'm not sure if it was fully automatic or it had the double trigger where you kind of flip it like that. But I just remember being able to fire it like, and like so we gave Mike's car a proper send off by we just covered it in paintballs. It looked like a war zone. So
It
that
lasted
was,
until it rained.
that
Mine
fun.
was a $20 Walmart one you could get. They just
The
like a
pump
single
one, the
shot.
pump pistol?
Yeah, you remember it was
Yeah.
a single, and I
I think it
still
was
like,
blue, wasn't it?
yeah, because you could shoot better with that than you could the automatic one. That's like good.
But anyways, so my other story. I'm not sure if you were there for this one. I'm pretty sure Mike wasn't. But my cousins came over. Gross, Banks, Brett was there. Colton was there. Everybody was there. And my dad, like whenever you have anniversaries with the company that we work for, they usually give you a nicer present. And like they go up every year, like every 5 years. Every 5 years, and they get nicer and nicer. And so sometimes if there was something on the list or nothing on the list that my dad particularly wanted, he would bring it to us and be like, hey, does anything look good? And we're like, oh man, there's like this giant Coleman 3-room tent. Were you there for this?
No.
There's a giant Coleman 3-room tent, and like it had 3 rooms, and we gave everybody rooms. We had our sleeping bags out there. It was going to be a great time.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
And so we went on all these adventures, but before we did, we were out there by the tent fooling around, and we were getting eaten alive by mosquitoes and stuff. And my mom had thought it would be a good idea to buy these tiki torches. Never used them. They were just sitting in our garage. So we went out, we pounded the tiki torches into the ground around the tent, so we at least had like a safe haven. And so we proceeded to go back on the farm and get in shenanigans.
Well, there's a reason why you all went. Girls. There wasn't a girl that lived over the holler.
Yeah, but I don't think that was. I think this was a different time. I think you're thinking of a different time.
Maybe.
But we went way back on the farm this time, and we fooled around. And then we actually came up to the front of the house, and we did what every good American child would do. we proceeded to jump up on top of the fence and moon the cars when they went by. And every time we mooned a car and they went by, I'd go, scatter! And we'd all run back up. It was a great time. So anyways, we get through with all of our wonderful fun times and we come back to the tent and we noticed that one of the tiki torches had fell down and it actually burned a giant hole in my dad's brand new tent. And we're talking about like brand spanking new. Like the first time it had been out of the box.
Yep.
And so naturally, in the scenarios that I gave you before, we blame Brett. We said that Brett did it because we knew that nobody...
I didn't even know they blamed me until what?
Older people loved Brett. So I mean, that's a good...
You said they loved him. Maybe they felt more
sorry for
sorry.
But listen though, we burned a hole in it. We didn't tell anybody. Somehow my dad found out. He came and questioned me about it, and I said I wasn't really sure. And the story and the narrative that Jeff or my brother gave was that that Brett burned a hole, or maybe we came up with it together. I don't want to throw him under the bus, but somehow the narrative became that Brett did it. It became the accepted narrative, so much to the point that I actually thought that Brett did it. And like 10 years later, during one of our events, we found out that another one of our friends actually did it, and we had been blaming Brett for it all along. And he actually told my parents. He came clean, but it was so funny.
New?
But yeah, that was a funny night.
Just like the dip kids porno, right?
We definitely cannot talk about that.
Definitely cannot talk about that. Yeah.
Oh,
So, anyways, do you have a grand finale story here for you?
Oh,
Oh, wait. Let's backtrack. I'm gonna tell one more because
Go
it's
ahead.
my show.
Because
and I wanna do it.
you're feeding my mind right now.
So, I asked for a bow and arrow one year, and even though it probably wasn't a good idea, I still got one. It was like one of those ones from Walmart that was like red.
Yeah.
What are you doing, like a World War tour? And,
Did you say he farted?
That's that I peed out from the podcast.
Oh my god! Oh, you know what?
We're way off the rails.
Mike, don't miss while you're laughing, dude.
I'm up to
Mike,
here. I'm up to here. I should be down to here.
But anyways, I got a bow and arrow. This is one of those cheap ones. It actually did have a pulley system. Came with like one of those styrofoam targets. Well, I used it like 2 weeks, and I was like, this isn't what I thought it would be. I kept hitting my arm. I was like, screw this. And so basically it's set in our garage to be implemented from time to time in war stories and things like that. But this particular time, my brother and Brett had it. And so they got the idea, once again, like every normal American red-blooded child, to shoot it up in the air and to try to avoid it as it came down, or maybe time it. I'm not really sure what the purpose of it was.
Well, first off, we were at your house, and we found it in the garage.
Yeah.
And you know where the fence was. We were seeing how far we could shoot it, or who can get the closest to the fence without touching the fence. And that's what we were doing. Not thinking about cars going by.
I'm pretty sure everybody's done that though. I've done that.
Who
Right.
hasn't done that? Peed in the front yard. Done that.
I grew up in a major city and I did that.
But that's what we started off doing, and then we took it to Paul's house. And that's where things escalated a little bit. We had more room.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when we were
It's
up
on
on the
forward.
well.
Yeah.
Or the
Oh,
the
so you're
cellar
all on top of that?
up on the hill,
Yeah, so you're pretty much even with the roof, and so somebody shot it up, and we'll debate that in a little bit. But somebody shot it up, and it landed on the kitchen area of the house, right? Am I telling it right? And so my dad gets a phone call of an from my irate grandpa, and so
You've
my
got to
dad.
tell it how you said it, though.
My dad. Well, I don't know how he said it, so you
Oh.
have to. But I just remember my dad saying that he thought that the arrow had literally went through the roof, like was like sitting through the roof. And he said he got there and it barely had pierced it at all. And my grandpa was already up there with like a putty knife and put it like.
No. It was stuck on a piece of shingle, just a flap that was up. It wasn't even pierced. It was just stuck. Like it hit the right spot and just stuck there. I mean, they were dull. But he talked
It's one
about
of those practice tips.
Yeah. It like.
So you wouldn't have been able to go through it.
It went through the roof, then through the floor. Like now I gotta do my floor.
That's the way that my dad said that he thought it was. So, do you have anything to input about that? But I just remember.
I remember everything.
But see, this was This was around a certain point in time where the calls kept happening because my brother went through a little bit of a power stage. And so...
Well, everybody goes through that.
Every time we got a phone call, I was like, oh, he did what? Okay, here you go. And I'd hand it to my parents, kind of snicker and just watch it unfold. So, but anyways, we'll let you cap it off.
All
Sorry,
right.
I had to interrupt you there.
Here's Paul and Nan's house. We're opening the back, you know. I'm on the outside on the right. He's on the inside on the left. There's the old shed where Paul kept his motorcycle and Bowser slept.
Bowser.
And, well, didn't really have that much room. I don't know why we were shooting it there. I really don't know why.
Out of that big whole farm.
Yeah, I don't know why we were there, but I don't know if we were going to go over the fence over in the back hill or what. I don't know. Couldn't remember. Colton just decides, like, here, and just lets it go. And it so happens,
Classic.
as he lets it go, Paul and Nan's walking back from their evening walk,
Oh, God.
and the arrow's coming down, and I'm just like,
It's like slow motion.
yeah. And it just, I'm like, dude, don't say nothing. He might not. They might not notice an arrow's picking up.
Be cool. Be cool.
And you hear from a mile away.
Well, Paul gets back and he looks up. He goes, and he looks at us, and I'm like, oh. I'm not gonna go into detail on how that went, but
Yeah, but it was really funny. So, but do you have another different story?
let's see here. Oh, there's so many.
Right.
There's so many.
And how many of them are actually
Able to tell right now, yeah.
Because statute of limitations isn't up.
What is for most things,
But a lot of them have names and stuff.
unless they're felonies.
I got one of just you and me.
I can't think of any more right now, except for the car. But
What's your point of view on the car?
no, not that car.
He's talking about another.
No,
Tell
this
about
is-
the car ride. Just change the name.
Oh, the car ride.
Yeah. Oh wait.
Says Tracy Jones.
I'm thinking of the little motorized car y'all had in the
okay.
Oh
garage.
no, I'm talking about the one where
He
Colin
said-
told him who he was going to movies with.
He said
Yeah, I can't
Tracy
tell that one.
Jones.
No, I can't do that one.
Just
It-
do it.
it's not the same. It's not, because I can't do certain voices.
All right. Tell the car.
We
one.
just said
Tell the car one then.
It was somebody's birthday. I don't know if it was yours or Colton's. I think it was Colton's birthday party. And we decided to get the gas-powered miniature car that you all had, like an old classic car.
Yeah, we were spoiled, so we had like a little
I
gas
was
powered
like,
car.
little go-kart. I was like, yeah.
I'm trying to remember when you never moved.
So there's like 4 cars parked in the driveway. You know how it is. And you got that open side of it.
Yeah.
It goes all the way back to the barn. Well, we got it out and started. Me and Colton were driving around taking turns. We didn't have it out 5 minutes. I take over and I get distracted by you shooting a cat gun with an old style double barrel pistol, hammerlock back or whatever. And I'm looking. Boom! I hit Paul's car. Let alone did I damage the fiberglass in the fender on the go-kart. Not thinking that it's an antique. You can't get those anymore.
Yeah.
But, oh, I thought I was done for.
you
Yeah.
get fiberglass patches.
Oh, you passed it back.
Yeah, we patched it back. But yeah, that I don't particularly remember that one, but there was a bunch of shenanigans in that car. So, well, I think we're kind of funny storied out. We'll have to do a part 2 if this one's successful. If y'all hate it, then we probably won't do another
Yeah.
one. But I think we have a ton of stories, and probably more funny stories that we forgot than we can remember.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Falling in a hole.
We already talked about that.
Don't
one,
drop the
didn't we?
Claymore bag.
Don't drop. Oh god. All right. Anyways, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Leaning Tower of Pisa.
All right, but do you have any final thoughts there, Michael? This,
I'm really not a bad person.
this is,
I'm really not.
Mike has been out of trouble for at least 10
He
years.
just had to run his bad luck.
No,
Yeah,
hold on.
yeah, that's true. Because everybody gets in
Yeah.
trouble. Just
Mike,
some people
Mike,
don't
you're
get
just
caught.
shooting yourself in the foot here, man.
11 years.
Okay, 11 years, so that's better. What about you, Dave? You got any final thoughts?
Let's see. Well, it's the end of the year. Did y'all have any like awesome things you did this year that were awesome?
I got divorced.
You got divorced.
You
That's pretty
win!
sad.
Actually, I got my packet in the mail the other day, and my lawyer literally read up like a congratulations letter to me saying, "Congratulations, you're officially married."
Hey, look.
Who did it? Or
From
something.
working in said
Officially
industry,
divorced, you mean?
there's,
Oh, yeah,
a,
officially
there's a
divorced.
particular industry where you can actually go throw a divorce party. I know because I've helped throw those parties.
What
They
Mike's
call
saying
goddess
is that there's
parties.
The strip
That's what
clubs.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, goddess parties. That's what it's called. When a
Okay,
woman
I
gets
never
divorced.
Yeah, yeah, no. When you officially
Neither.
get divorced, you
But
can
those
throw
are
a
things.
divorce party at strip clubs. I've worked in the industry for a long goddamn time. Sorry.
First GD.
Ooh.
Mike's.
Hey,
Slide
first
it
F-bomb, first GD.
Congratulations, Mike. All
Way to go, Mike.
But didn't say Jeff's name.
I did not. That was this one.
That was me.
All right, Brett. You got
Sorry,
any,
Jack.
you got any
Or the
final-
voice. I
No,
didn't
I
do
like
the
to do it
voice.
again.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah.
I did like half a word.
I'd like to have Brett come on and talk about his time overseas, especially because there were so many stories of like, wonder what Brett's doing right now, and like I would make up these crazy
Yeah.
stories and adventures that Brett would be.
Oh, I
on.
remember
The fall in a hole, right?
That was the best one. I was like,
No,
you know,
That was me.
no.
Is that what you're talking about? falling in
No,
a
you
hole?
were not even there. For
That's
that.
No,
when
I'm
he
talking
walked
about
to
me
work.
falling in
No,
a
we
hole.
already talked about that story,
no.
though.
So we were all together one time, and when things got quiet from time to time, we go, I wonder what Brett's doing.
Oh no, we can't.
I
say
remember
that.
these.
And I said, Brett is on patrol right now in Afghanistan, and he's gonna step in a hole. And I said, as he goes through the hole, his rifle's gonna get hung up, and it's gonna go off. And when the smoke clears, there's just gonna be a whole bunch of dead people laying around, and Osama bin Laden sitting right in the middle. And Brett pulling his sidearm and capturing Osama bin Laden. And for the first time in U.S. history, they're gonna waive everything and be like, you know what? You can have the money for capturing Osama bin Laden. And we laughed and laughed and laughed because I could picture Brett doing that and go, whoa, whoa, whoa.
And wasn't that shortly before I literally fell in a hole?
Yeah.
No, this was a long time before it. We were, I'm pretty sure it was a long time before that. At least a year or two.
So we might have been in Owensboro then. No, because you came visit us in Owensboro.
Brett didn't get Afghanistan until he
Two
tell you all of the Florence.
Till I came back
Okay.
from
Y'all were in
Colorado.
Florence then because this is a good story too. I
Because
was like,
I came back
Y'all
from
were
Colorado.
supposed to come up and
I
pick
started
me
a,
up.
I
no,
started, hey,
that's what I was going to
I
tell a
started
story
a
about
platinum a couple
that.
weeks after you came back. So
All
I
right.
was in Colorado while you were there.
This
No,
one time,
no,
me
yes,
and
I called
Colton,
you.
we were like,
No,
I was like,
saw
Colton,
you at the Trailblazers.
No, I called you while I was overseas on my Hodge phone, and you were in Colorado.
You did. You did, because I'm pretty sure I was drunk that night.
well,
I was
Brett,
drunk most nights
Brett was
over
saying
there.
we were supposed to pick him up, but Colton and I, we were like, we had these big plans. We were going to go like drive to Missouri. I think you were going to come with us
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
pick up Brett. And then Brett was like, "Oh, so and so's going to take me back now." And that, like before Brett said that, we were like, I was like, Colton, Blink-182's playing like the weekend we're supposed to be in Florence, in Cincinnati. You want to go see him? He said, yeah, sure. We're supposed to pick up Brett that day. And then Brett calls like the day of, like we were getting ready
We're
to
all
go to
like,
Mississippi or
we're all, like,
Missouri.
packing up. We
Yeah.
got our bags on.
And Brett's like, oh, so-and-so's giving me a ride.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah,
like,
I was in
well,
Colorado when you came back.
I think you might have been in Florence then.
No, you're
No, I was in Colorado while he was there.
Because we did
We're
the
talking about
Waffle-
when he
we
got
did
out
the
of
White
boot camp.
Castle
Boot camp.
thing. Yeah,
We're
yeah.
talking about
2009.
We're not talking about when he got back from Afghanistan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He just got through with boot camp.
Yeah, this is like September.
That's when Brett and I walked to White Castle.
Crave case.
And I was like on the phone with somebody. I'm like, I'm in Florence, and what the guy was like,
Yeah, I was
we're in
gone by then.
Ellesmere or whatever. I don't remember.
Yeah, I was gone by
the
then.
actual town is.
Anyways, so I appreciate you guys being a part of the last podcast of the year. We'll put this on tomorrow and let everybody hopefully laugh at our pain and our funny stories.
Vaya con Dios.
So we'll be back pretty soon. Actually, we got a podcast planned next week with Jerry Tyrell and his brother, and we're going to talk about the way the fantasy football year played out, and also maybe do a little bit of a playoff preview for the NFL.
Real quick, who's your all Super Bowl picks?
I don't give a shit.
Mike's a Browns fan.
I'm a Browns
Me
fan.
too.
I don't care.
I got playoff.
I don't even
picks.
know. I haven't kept up with it.
As long as it's not the Steelers or the Patriots, I don't care.
It's gonna be the Patriots and Saints.
I'm okay with the Saints winning. As long as the
No, I meant
Steelers...
like Super Bowl's gonna Patriots gonna win. The
No,
Super Bowl.
as long as it's not the Steelers or the Patriots that win it all, I don't care.
I called the Saints like 10 weeks ago, and
Well,
the Saints are gonna win.
I think it depends on the playoff bracket. So I think that after this week, I'll have a little bit more clarity. But I can say with absolute certainty that there are certain things that you know for sure.
Man, who
Life.
likes Aries in the ball?
Yeah,
And it's,
Patriots winning.
Death, taxes.
Supposed to
that's
be.
winning.
Yeah.
Who do you think the NFC team's gonna be?
I don't know. I'll have to look at the bracket whenever it gets finalized with the seeding.
Because I would say the Panthers or the Saints haven't decided.
I have
You
to
know what?
know.
The Rams could surprise you.
I have to know where everybody's
they
playing.
They could.
Real quick too, I'd like to thank. I'm sure he's probably not watching this. I'll tell him and I gave him a shout. But my brother-in-law gave me this cool double axis engraved knife, and I really appreciate it.
He's
It's pretty
gonna
sweet.
stab it on camera.
We're gonna have to figure out a way to incorporate it in the set. We actually can't be in the set right now because somebody ran.
Extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, somebody ran a car through the garage. So,
Well,
I'm
no, it
going
wasn't
to
me.
know about that story later.
okay, well, I'll show you.
I'll
But-
show you.
Did you have a Oprah Winfrey moment?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Hold on, before you do that, Brett, reach under your seat. Oh, I was gonna light the sparkler up before you get that.
Sorry, man. I ruined it.
Hold on.
You got a lighter?
Yeah, I do.
All right, it's Michael Fishman's birthday.
Oh, fuck you, and I'm lighting my own goddamn candle.
Can we call you landfill for once?
No!
It's not lighting. This is like a piece
And
of.
so this is how we had to
Okay,
call the
Mike.
fire department.
And the smoke detector's going to
I've got. I'll set it though in the beer if it like burns out. Look, it's Mike's birthday. Get some pictures.
So happy birthday, Mike. We really appreciate you spending
For
your.
people listening,
31st
I just
with
lit like a
us here.
sparkler on a cupcake, and that was it. It was cool.
You gonna sing the Browns suck?
No.
Okay.
Because the
Anyways.
Browns are going. They're going to make a huge turnaround next year. They haven't.
They're
they
going to
got
win 4
blown
games
out.
next year.
Yeah, that's a huge turnaround. If you
Kind
win
of
0
is.
games,
After winning
4
one game
more
in 2
games,
years.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a huge
Once you
turnaround.
put that out before we have
Because
to
it's a sparkler.
have a
It'll go out on its own when it
second
hits here.
insurance claim this week.
It'll go out. Watch.
Throw it in that beer can. Just like,
Anyways, we really appreciate y'all listening. Thank you all for being here. And like I said, we promise that we'll do more of these if y'all enjoyed it. And thank you, Megan,
Told
again
you.
for running the camera. And we'll see you guys next time.
Cheers.
thanks.